Hello, my beautiful students. How are you today? I hope that you are pretty fine. Okay, amazing students. Let's continue with everything that we have here for you today in order to continue practicing English. During the last week, we were talking about present simple, present continuous, past simple, in interrogative, negative, and affirmative form. Maybe we are going to be talking about adverbs of frequency. Also, we were talking about past continuous in affirmative, negative, interrogative. And we were having a contrast between the simple past and past continuous. And today we are going to be working with some conjunctions that we are going to be having, okay? For that reason, let's start first of all with this that I have here for you. This is going to be super easy. This is going to be super great. Remember that if you have any question, any situation, you can let me know and I'm going to be helping you, okay? For that reason, let me show you this that I have here for you today. Let me make it bigger because it's what am I waiting for? Excellent. Okay, intermediate. Ea. Here we go. So first of all, I would like to say hello there. I hope that you are pretty cool, pretty fine. Welcome one more time to this second week. I hope that you are learning a lot. If not, let me know and I'm going to be helping you. And let's continue with this. Let's learn something new every day. And as today is a new day, we are going to continue with this that I have here for you. I know that you can do it. Well, let's continue with this that I have here for you. Speaking time, are we going to be practicing our speaking time? Yes, indeed, because remember that it is going to be pretty important for us to have the opportunity to practice this, okay? For that reason, here we go. Well, you are going to be having 2 minutes, but in this occasion, I'm going to be giving you just 1 minute in order that you can practice your speaking, okay? Then you can be having, you are going to be having this presentation in order that you can continue talking about this, okay? This is the speaking part, and then we are going to continue with other things. Very well. Let's start. Okay, and here we go. Let's spin the roulette. And we are going to say stop whenever you want. For example, here, stop. Okay, you have 1 minute in order to tell me what causes you stress in your life. Okay, and here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1 minute. Tell me what causes you stress in your life. You can do it. Everything. Oh my goodness, 30 seconds. We can do it. 1 minute. Excellent. Tell me, was it easy or difficult for you to be speaking in English for 1 minute about this topic? What causes you stress in your life? Okay. What are you going to be having now? Let me tell you, you are going to be having the homework of to continue playing with the roulette, to say stop, and you are going to be speaking in English for 2 minutes about the answer that the question that you are going to be having here. For example, tell me your funniest story. You need to tell me about your funniest story all over the world. Okay, because remember that speaking English is going to be one of the most important things that we are going to be having here. Okay, so you can do it. Tell me your funniest story. De una vez se lo pusimos ahí. Excellent. Tell me your funniest story for 2 minutes, and then you can continue playing with this in a different way, okay? So instead of 2 minutes, you are going to be having 3 minutes in order to answer the different questions that we have here. Okay, that is the main objective, that if you, well, the main point that if you don't have a topic where you or when you can be speaking in English, you can be having this kind of resources that can be pretty helpful for you. Okay, very well. So you are going to be having different questions, and you can be thinking about other questions for you that can be helping you to think in topics, to talk in English, okay? You can record yourself and send me the audio, okay? Don't worry. Okay, now let's continue with this that I have here for you. Here we go. What are we going to be doing in this moment? Look at this. Here we go. Here we go. And let's review about a topic that we were talking about during the last class, okay? And remember that we were talking about the genitive case. The genitive case, yes, the genitive case is going to be like the possessive case. Possessive case, yes. Well, for that reason, let's continue with this. Remember that during our last class, we were saying that the genitive case is going to be when we add an apostrophe to, or the apostrophe to the letter S, okay? In order to show possession, in order to show that something belongs to another person, or a type of relationship between things. That's where and that's when we are going to be making use of the genitive case. Then in few words, we are going to be having this one, the noun of the possessive case. Look at this. When a noun, I mean a thing, denotes possession, ownership, or belongingness, we are going to be making use of the possessive case. And this is how we are going to be making use of this, okay? The living noun, it has to be a living noun plus the letter S plus the possession or the ownership. That is one. But if we are going to be talking about something that is not living, we are going to be having then the possession, the word of, and your noun. For example, here, Ram's pen has been lost. Reka's watch is costly. As you can see here, this is alive and this is alive. Okay, Ram's pen has been lost. Reka's watch is costly, or Reka's watch is costly, depending the language. But if we are going to be having no living things, we are going to be making use of this possessive case in a different way. Instead of using the letter S, we are going to be making use of the word of. For example, the car's wheel is punctured. No, that is going to be incorrect. The wheel of the car is punctured. The wheel of the car is punctured. Excellent. That is what we are going to be having, because the car's wheel, it's not a thing. Something living, a living thing. So it is not a living thing. We are going to be making use of the word of. And we are not going to be making the difference or having the different structure that at the beginning. That is going to be normal. The wheel of the car is punctured. Oh. Okay, we were talking about this. The possessive case with people and possessive case with things. Well, the possessive case with people, it is when you are going to be making use of the letter S and the apostrophe, okay? With one person, for example, the man's hat, the man's hat, the man's hat. Yes. What is it going to be the man's hat? That is going to be the possession that we are going to be having here, okay? Now, for example, we use the letter S and the apostrophe with two or more persons. For example, the girls' skirts. The girls' skirts, okay. But be careful, but we are going to be having the children's books, the women's bags, the men's umbrellas. Ooh, why do I have the letter S? And in the other has, first of all, the letter S and the apostrophe. What is the difference here? In a moment, you are going to be learning everything about this. In this case, we are having a living thing, plural, with a letter S at excellent at the end. But if we are going to be having living things that don't have letter S in the plural, we are going to be making use of the letter S. Okay, what do you want? Let me see. We also can use the letter S with animals. The cat's tail. Yes, we are going to be making use of the letter S with the animals. Yes, because they are living things. Okay. Aquí lo que importa es que sean cosas vivas para que puedas poner el apóstrofe y la S o la S y el apóstrofe. Pero el apóstrofe y la S lo vas a poner con plurales cuando el plural no tiene S. ¿Sale? Y cuando tu plural tiene S, como por ejemplo aquí en girls skirts, ahí no necesitas ponerle S, solo el apóstrofe. ¿Sale? But little by little we are going to be learning about that. The trunk of the tree. El tronco del árbol, pero no es un living thing. Bueno, aquí entra sobre todo con personas y animalitos, ¿no? Puede llegar a ser. Igual si fuera the tree, exactly, puede ser una cuestión viva, pero aquí el tronco no entra. Mira, the genitive case. Remember that the genitive case can be used without necessity or adding a noun after, because we are going to be understanding. Here we have, this is not my book, it's my brother's. We know that we are talking about a book, okay? We know that. Este no es mi libro, es de mi hermano. We are going to be having that. And also, look at this. Peter's computer. Peter's computer. What do I have here? Peter's computer. Sue's book. My friend's car. My mom's job. Oh, my parents' house. My friend's pens. Aquí ya le vamos agarrando sabor a esto. Vamos a ver aquí, mira. Let me show you this. Peter's computer. Peter is someone alive, está vivo, ¿no? El poseedor tiene que estar vivo. Peter's computer. Okay, as we don't have a letter S, or we are talking about singulars, we are going to be adding the letter S. When we have singulars, we add the letter S, okay? Sue's book. Sue's book. Excellent. My friend's car. My friend's car. El carro de mi amigo. My mom's job or mom's job. El trabajo de mi mamá. Here we are talking about singulars. And in singulars, we are going to be adding the letter S. Okay, we are going to be adding to the letter, to the person or to the thing, the letter S, because we are talking in singular. But if we are going to be talking in plural, we are going to be having another situation, okay? Look at this. My parents' house. My friend's pants. Okay. Here we are not going to be adding a letter S, not because I have here another letter S or another two letter S. No, it is because my plural is ending with a letter S, so I don't need to use anymore my letter S, only my apostrophe. Cuando tienes plurales que llevan S, ya no tienes que volver a escribir una S. Con el simple apóstrofe es más que suficiente. My parents' house. My friend's pens. ¡Oh! La casa de mis padres. Los lapiceros de mis amigos. Could it be possible to have affirmatives and negatives? It could be. Is it possible to have plurals and singulars? Yes, it could be. Depending of different things. Okay. What do you think at this moment? Did you remember what we were talking during the last week? That's what we were having during the last class. Okay, but here you have more explanations and more examples. Okay, remember, we are going to be adding the letter S to the person or to the thing. And with plurals that ends with the letter S, we are going to be adding only the apostrophe, and that's it, okay? So for possessions, but with plurals that it belongs to one person, for example, we are going to be having only the letter S, and we are not going to be adding an extra letter S, only the natural letter S of the plural and the apostrophe. The situation is going to be here with some exceptions that we are going to be having. They are, for example, children, people, men, women. What is that? Oh, those are going to be plurals, but those are going to be irregular plurals, okay? With the regular plurals, indeed, we need to add the letter S no matter what. Because if I have plurals without a letter S, it is important that I can be able to add the letter S to the adjective. Okay? We are going to be making use of the possessive case In order to talk about objects or people that we have, Mike has a car. It's Mike's car. Órale. Sandra has a boyfriend. It's Sandra's boyfriend. My parents have a house. It's my parents' house. ¿Cómo lo ves? Mike has a car. It's Mike's car. Mike tiene un carro. Es el carro de Mike. Mike's. Okay, the possession. Sandra has a boyfriend. Sandra tiene un novio. It's Sandra's boyfriend. Es el novio de Sandra. He or it. My parents have a house. It's my parents' house. La casa de mis padres. But here we have the letter S, the letter S, no the letter S. Porque como todos estos nos llevan S, hay que agregárselas. Si mis irregulares ya tienen una S, solo hay que ponerle al apóstrofe. La S ya está entonces. And we are going to be having different examples of possessive case of plural nouns. So, let me tell you that for a plural noun, which ends in the letter S, exactly what I was telling you, we are going to be adding just an apostrophe in order to form a possessive case. Okay, for example, my girl's house. The school meant for the girls. The boys plays the soldiers uniform. The horses athlete. The eagles nets. The 2 years time. The $10 spam. My parents' blessing. The ladies said. But for plural nouns that doesn't end with the letter S, we are going to be having to add this letter S to the possessive case. For example, here, men's club, the club for men's. Children's books. Ooh. The women's college, la colegio de las muchachas. The washerman wakes. The mice straps. The geese wink. Or the people choice. What do you think? Those are plurals that doesn't have the letter S. That is the situation. And let me tell you something. When we have a possessive case that is used to article before the person is hurting, bows and diamonds, we are going to be using that. Tell me the truth till this moment. What do you think? It is not so difficult, right? But let's see, little by little. For example, this is Bob's and Jane's house. This is Bob and Jane's house. Or this is Bob's and Jane's house. This is Bob's and Jane's house. Oh, this is Bob's and Jane's house. What could it be? You can do it. You can do it. This is Bob and Jane's house. Because there is going to be a rule that says that if you use possessive case in both names, that means that each one of them has a possession. If we use Bob and Jane's house, we are talking about them, both of them. And if we say Bob's and Jane's house, that means that Bob has a house and Jane doesn't. For that reason, we are going to be having this one. when a noun or a pronoun is going to be showing possession, we are going to be saying that that is into the possessive case. Shirley's bag is on the table. That is possession with the letter S. The dog bit the cat's tail. That is a possessive case. The king's crown. The ship's bell. My brother-in-law's guitar. That is a possessive case. Okay. Excellent. You're amazing. Possessive case. But as I was telling you, sometimes the possessive case is used to convey meaning other than possessions. For example, authorship, origin, kind, and so on. Not only it's mine, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine, mine, it's mine, but different. Shakespeare's plays. Shakespeare's plays. The plays that were written by Shakespeare. A children's playground. La S normal, ¿por qué? Children. En plural, que significa niños, niños. A child, entonces ahí échale la S. A children's playground. Un centro de juegos para niños. Excellent. Lord Rama's temple, the temple in which Lord Rama's worship, no? Possession, the women's cries. Robert's school, the president's speech. Those are possessive, but also they are showing you authorship, origin, or kind. Okay, but there are going to be some rules that are going to be helping us in order to know what are we going to be having. Till this moment, what questions do you have? Well, tengo que estar checando que vayamos ahí. Well, we are going to be making use of this possessive case in different parts. Let me tell you. We are going to be making use of the apostrophe and the letter S when something belongs to or is associated with someone. Okay, that is the situation. For example, Peter's satchel, or Jennifer's pencil, or John's dog. That's good. That's great. Also, this is exactly what we were talking about during this date. The letter S, it's going to be also used with organizations or groups of people, countries, places, or expressions of time. For example, the government's policy. Okay. Britain's symbols. Yesterday's newspapers. That's cool. Also, beautifuls, we are going to be making use of the letter S with plural nouns that ends in S or with S. Only the apostrophe is going to be used, as we were saying. That's cool. For example, my parents' opinion. You are not going to be writing the letter S anymore because you already have a letter S in here. Okay. And also, here we are going to be having this. My neighbor's dog. My neighbor's dog? Yes, because you already have a plural here. Okay, and if you are going to be having a plural that ends with the letter S, you don't need to use another S because it is going to be double S. Or for example, the Carter's room. The Carter's is plural and that plural has a letter S as plural. So you don't need to use another S with the possessive case. Only with the apostrophe is enough. Also, when there is more than one possessor, This is pretty interesting. When there is more than one possession, the letter S is going to be placed or put after the last name, as the example that we were having at the beginning. For example, Mary and Peter's house. No, it is not going to be the house of Peter. It is going to be the Mary and Peter's house. But the rule says that if there are two possessors, the letter S or the possessive or genitive case is going to be at the end of the last possessors. Okay. Or for example, here, Charlie and Maggie's backyard. Charlie is the owner, Maggie is the owner, but we cannot say Charlie's and Maggie's blackbird because backyard, because that is going to be meaning that Charlie has his own backyard and that Maggie has her own backyard. No, we are going to be waiting for the last owner, and then we are going to be placing the letter S. Okay. Julie and John's car. That car is for Johnny and for John. Okay, for Julie and for John. The situation is that John is the last, and that's why he's going to be carrying the letter S. Also, let me tell you something. The apostrophe and the letter S. Oh, the letter S of the apostrophe form this on this form is used on its own when referring to a house, a shop, or a church. Okay, this is going to be interesting because look at this. At my mother's, at the baker's, at St. Paul's. It is when you are going to be referring to a very specific place, okay? Very specific place. Where are we going to be having the party? At Anita's. Where is that place? At Paul McCarthy's. When are we going to be having the party? At my mom's. Oh, when you are referring to a new place, you are going to be making use only of the letter S. At my mom's, okay? When you are going to be referring to a house, a shop, or a church, you use only the S, and you are not going to be giving more explanations. At my mother's, I will have a dinner at my mother's. O sea, eso significa que en donde mi mamá, ¿no? Oh, we are going to be having a meeting at the barber's. My son, beautiful. Don't worry, if you don't find me, I am at St. Paul's. That was a cruel one. That is what we are going to be doing. Okay, at my mother's, at the baker's, at St. Paul's. You are not going to be giving more information. That's okay, that's cool, that's great, that's enough. At my mother's. Where is going to be the party? At your father's. Oh, that means that in my father's house. Siempre que estoy hablando de lo que son, aquí está, te estás refiriendo a lo que son casas, una tienda, una iglesia, por ejemplo. Tú vas a hacer referencia a ellos solamente con la letra S. At St. John's. St. John's, ¿no? At St. John's. Uy, en donde San Pablo o en la de San Pablo, ¿no? Or for example, at the baker's, at the butcheries. Nos vemos en la carnicería. We'll see each other at the butcheries with Don Memo, ¿no? El lugar al que te estás refiriendo o haciendo referencia. At my mother's, en donde mi mamá, en donde San Pedro, en donde arreglan, en donde that is going to be the meaning that we are going to be having here. Okay. And also when the noun is going to be followed by a descriptive phrase or maybe a clause, we are going to be having this structure. This is easy. It is not so difficult, but it is important, okay? For example, the revenge was the motto of the rebels who took part in the demonstration. Okay, the revenge was the motto of the rebels who took part in the demonstration. Okay, so remember when the noun is followed by a descriptive phrase or clause, the structure is going to be noun of a noun. Aquí tú no te vas a estar utilizando la letra S, para nada. Porque cuando un noun, es decir, una cosa, es seguida por una frase descriptiva, es decir, que la describe, entonces tú no tienes por qué utilizar una S. Aquí es la regla. Nos vamos con un of. ¿Sale? That is what we are going to be having. ¿Cómo lo estás viendo? Ay, sorry. Easy or difficult? Not so difficult. Okay. Bueno. These are going to be some of the rules that we are going to be having in order to use our possessive case or our genitive case. Possessive case or genitive case is going to be the same. And the possessive case or the genitive case is going to be the apostrophe and the letter S, or the letter S and the apostrophe, or the word of. We are going to be talking about that, okay? So that was the beginning. These were some rules about how we are going to be making use of the possessive or genitive case. Okay, but now let me show you this. The apostrophe, genitive or the possessive case. Our teacher's table. As you can see here, we are going to be having one teacher and one table. Our teacher table, teacher and table, or teacher's table, okay. The dogs hatch. More dogs and one hat. The ducks, as you can see, this is going to be plural. And as the plural of dog is dogs, we are not going to be having a double letter S or a double S. With the S that we have in the plural is enough, only the apostrophe. The men's sandwiches. More men and more sandwiches. Plural and plurals. But with this plural that is irregular plural, we need to add the letter S, because remember that plural or not plural, regular or irregular, they need to have a letter S or a possessive case, the apostrophe. Always, always, okay? The woman's badges. I mean, you have here one woman and more badges. The plural is here and doesn't matter because here we are not going to be adding a letter S. No, never ever. The possessive is going to be in the object, the owner, who belongs. Or for example, our baby's toys. We have one baby and more toys. Here is just one baby and here are the toys. Doesn't matter if the toys are plurals. No. We are talking about this, okay? The owner, the possessor. That is what we are going to be having. Now, look at this. The mice cage. Plural and singular. And what's the matter? No one. Because my plural is going to be having the letter S, but the plural doesn't have a letter S because it is irregular. So if my plural doesn't have a letter S because it is irregular, yours doesn't have if my plural doesn't have a letter S because it is irregular, no problem, because you are going to be adding the letter S. Or for example, my friend's car. My friend's car. One friend and one car, okay? If we can have more cars, the plural is going to be on the second one, and with my friends is going to continue the same. Or if I want to have more friends, we can say my friend's car without the letter S, or without the possessive case, and my friend's car, my friend's car. A lot of friends, only one car, or only one friend, only one car, or a lot of friends, a lot of cars, or only one friend and a lot of cars, depending what you want to say, okay? Exactly what I was saying, my friend's house. One friend and more cars. That is going to be what we are going to be having. Oh, my friend's car. A lot of friends, only one car. My friends' cars. Lucky boys, because you have one friend. Well, my word friends with the letter S and my cars with the letter S. I mean that both are plurals, but it doesn't matter if they are plurals or no. The owner or the one who is going to be owning the thing has to be with the letter S. Okay, we were having this, right? Now, let me give you other kind of examples related to this. The apostrophe S is normally used to show possession, that there is a relationship between two things or that sometimes belongs to another. What do you think? Excellent. It is not as difficult as we believe. Well, we went and we are going to be having these examples. We are going to be adding the apostrophe and the letter S with singular nouns. We went to Anne's house last night. We have you sent the dog's bone? Singular nouns. Plural nouns that ends with the letter S. If we are going to be having a plural nouns that ends with the letter S, what we were saying, you use the apostrophe and that's it. I went to my friend's party. I mean, the party of your friends. My cousin's house is always a mess. Your cousins, my cousin's house, but my cousins are plural. That's the reason why we are not going to be adding the letter S, because that plural already have a letter S. Plural nouns with not ending with the letter S, they regular nouns. For example, we are going to be adding the apostrophe and the letter S. The children's story are all over the room. The children's toys are all over the world. The children's is plural. You don't need to use another thing, just the letter S, because as this is plural, but it is an irregular plural, it is an irregular plural. The guy dice que tiene muchos, no? But it doesn't matter, because if it is a irregular plural without S, what we are going to be doing is to add the letter S to that, okay? Or for example, the men's toilet was disgusting. Men's is plural, but it is an irregular plural. That's the reason why we cannot use the word without the letter S. It's irregular, it doesn't have the letter S, but we are going to be adding a letter S, because always we need to have a letter S as possessive case or as a plural, but there's always the possibility to have a letter S. Also, let me tell you that we are going to be having singular nouns that are going to be ending with the letter S. And we are going to be adding the letter S, don't worry. The actress role was very difficult. Oh my goodness, a lot of yes. Ah, yes. But you know what? The situation is that this is singular, and the singular with the letter S, it's okay. You can add another letter S. Okay. Or Mr. Lewis' dog always comes onto our property. Oh, Louis, it's a name. It's a singular noun with the letter S. So if it is going to be a singular noun that ends with the letter S, don't worry. We are going to be adding the letter S, okay? Hercules' strength. Double S. Why? Because my singular is ending with the letter S. I cannot take out that letter S in order to use my letter S of my possessive case. No, we are going to be adding also the letter S. Doesn't matter if it is finishing with the letter S or not. When we are talking in singulars, in plurals, no, never ever in the life, you are not going to be making use of the letter S in plurals, ¿sale? Cuando tienes un plural que termina con S, ya no le pones la S del possessive case, el caso posesivo. ¿Sale? Solo el apóstrofe porque tu adjetivo, tu sustantivo, pues ya tiene S. Pero si es un plural que no tiene S, es decir, los irregulares, tú ponle la S. Si algo es singular, ponlo con S, pero si algo termina con S y es singular, le vas a volver a agregar la letra S, como Mr. Lewis. Mr. Lewis' dog always come onto our property. Tu noun, tu sustantivo terminaba en S, pero es singular. No importa, solo a los plurales que lleven S, ya no les vas a poner S. De ahí a todo lo demás existente en la vida le vas a poner una S. Solo a los plurales que ya lleven S no le pones S, pero a todo lo demás le vas a poner S. ¿Sale? A ver. As a part of a phrase. What do we have there? We are going to be adding only the letter S or only the apostrophe depending on the rules above. Okay. The president of Chile's speech was not too long or was too long. I had to give 2 weeks notice. I was leaving. I had to give 2 weeks notice. I was leaving. As a part of a phrase, don't worry. You can use the letter S or only the apostrophe, but depending the rules that we are going to be having on the top, okay, of the president of Chile's speech. I had to give 2 weeks notice. I was leaving. And for example, if we are not going to be having noun, or if we are going to be having nouns, let me tell you something. Sometimes the noun after the letter S or the apostrophe, it is not necessary. Why? When the meaning is super clear. If you infer the meaning, if the meaning is clear, you don't need to be using the apostrophe or the letter S. No, or the apostrophe with the letter S. No. If you already have information about that and it is cool and clear, that's excellent. You don't need to use again the possessive case. For example, my car is older than John's. You don't need to say John's car. Okay. Sometimes the nouns after the letter S is not necessary when the meaning is clear. Don't worry about the noun, worry about the possessive. Okay, my car is older than John's. My car is older than yours. O sea, que es más viejito que el de John. We are not going to be needing another noun because we already are understanding the meaning of the sentence, okay? Here we have other rules. With one person, Jack has got a car. Jack's car is red, okay. The girl's bag is new, one girl. The child's hair is fair. One child, okay, one child. Okay, more than two person or people. Okay, the boys team is with orange colors, two or more boys, but your plural has a letter S. Don't use the letter S again. The teacher's books are here. We are not going to be saying that the teacher's double S books are there. No, if you have a plural with S, remember, never ever use another S. But there are these are the women's cars. As this is an irregular adjective that doesn't need an S and letter S in order to be plural, you need to write the letter S not to be plural, but also to show possession. Or for example, the children's balloons are colorful. The children's, this is a plural that doesn't need the letter S, but with the possessive case, yes, it has to be in there, okay? Now, let me show you other things. When we have two names, for example, Tom and Jerry live in the same house. We are going to be doing this. Tom and Jerry's house is big. Remember that if they are two owners, the possessive case is going to be at the end of the last one. If each one of the people or persons mentioned during the speech has their own things, well, in that case, yes, we are going to be having this one. No, each one of you. For example, Ben and Holly live in different houses. Ben has his house and Holly has her house. Each one of them is going to be having a house, so that I can tell you Ben's and Holly's houses are small because Ben has his own house and Holly has his own house. But if they live together, they are married and they are the owners of the house, oh, the letter S is going to be at the end of Holly's. But as Ben and Holly they have their own houses, that means that you are going to be having a possessive case with one and a possessive case with the other one in order to show this difference, okay? But if they are together and both are the owners, okay, the letter S is going to be at the end. But if each one has their own things, oh, no. You are going to be separating this with the letter S, okay? Depending the context of what we have. And also, let me show you this. We are going to be making use of the possessive case for things, yes, but in this case, as I was telling you, we are going to be making use of the word of the leg of the table. Oh, because this is a thing. The cover of the book. The cover of the book, because this is not alive. This is not alive. Okay, that is not alive. And for places, don't worry, for places we are going to be making use of the letter S. Let's go to Peter's. I mean, for Peter's house. Remember that for places you don't need to give extra information. No, only with the name of and the possessive, it's enough. She's at the butcher's. Excellent. She's at the butcher's. We don't need to be giving more information for places. We are not going to be having extra information. No, that's enough and that's cool. She's at the butcher's. For places, yes, we are going to be making use of this. Okay. Let me show you this. Genitive is used when we say that something belongs to someone. Yes, with singular nouns, the letter S. The girl, Jane, dog, my mother's ring, my Jane's boyfriend, my dog's tail, my mother's hand. These are the possessions of them. Plurals, children's toys, irregular plurals, men's drinks, but plural and plural, yes, what's the matter? This is not the trouble. This is not the trouble. The trouble is this first thing that we have here. Women's decisions, okay? And for regular plural nouns, boys without the letter S, boys, toys, birds, cage, friends, cars. It is sounding a letter S because the letter S is in here, okay? What do you think about this? We are going to be practicing it. You are going to be having different cases. Nominative case, accusative case, and the possessive case. We are learning this one is this moment, the possessive case. When a noun or pronoun shows possession, it is said to be in the possessive case, no? Cheerless bag is on the table, the dog beat the cat's tail, the king's crown. That is when we are going to be using the letter S. Pero, ¿cómo lo ves hasta el momento? Sí, más o menos. Ya sé que fue bastante, pero tú dime, tú dime. Me di a entender, si no con toda la confianza, déjamelo saber para que te ayudemos y yo te lo super vuelvo a explicar. No hay problema, no me moleste. El chiste es que te sientas, que comprendiste, ¿no? Que sí te explicamos bien, que estuvo bien, ¿no? This is going to be the first, but tomorrow we are going to continue with the next part that is going to be focused on when we are not going to be making use of the letter S. Any question, any situation, let me know and I'm going to be helping you. As always, it is my real pleasure. Do you know that I get excited y me emociono y grito y de repente estoy seria para no llamar tanto la atención y de repente, no, fíjate, pero con toda la confianza, déjame ver cómo te sientes con extra explicaciones, si no, a ver qué hacemos, pero lo mejoramos, ¿ok? Beautifuls and handsomes. Any question, here I am, okay? I hope that you have a wonderful day and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.